Severe weather is not done yet, with more severe weather that is going to be a potential over the next few days. So I'm going to be talking about what you need to know about the severe weather potential. Let's get right into the video. It's Friday, May 8th, 2026, and we got two areas to watch for potential severe weather today. Storm Prediction Center has issued a marginal risk going from the Florida Panhandle all the way into parts of Missouri, where we do have a potential for some scattered severe weather today. But we also do have a level 2 out of 5 slight risk over here in parts of eastern Oklahoma, southeastern Kansas, and parts of northeastern Texas, where we also have potential for severe weather today. And then we also got this level 1 out of 5 marginal risk down here in parts of southern Texas, where we could be dealing with severe weather today as well. So if we go over to the tornado risk, the tornado risk is going to be relatively low, but we do have potential for an isolated tornado or two within sight of this green highlighted area down here in parts of eastern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, and southern Alabama. Isolated tornado or two cannot be ruled out over there with the 2% tornado risk in effect. Now we also have 2% tornado risk up here in parts of Oklahoma. That goes from Oklahoma City up into southeastern Kansas, where we cannot rule out an isolated tornado today as well. So definitely be aware for potential tornado warnings out there, but it's gonna remain pretty low. We also do got a chance for some damaging winds out there today, as you can see right here, with a 5% wind risk and a 15% wind risk within these areas. The 15% wind risk is out there in eastern Oklahoma, southeastern Kansas, and northeastern Texas, where we do have potential for some damaging winds today. So please make sure you're strapped down on scared objects. If you're in this highlighted area, damaging winds cannot be ruled out down here in southern Texas either. And then we do have potential for some large to very large hail, especially within this 15% hail risk and this hail conditional intensity group 1 risk. And if we get those storms out here, then we can see some pretty large hail, though, as well over there in parts of southern Texas. So make sure to park your car in a garage so that it doesn't get damaged by hail. Here's the future radar here. Here's what some of those storms could look like today as they develop. If we push up the future radar, you can see we're going to have some of these storms develop out here today, potentially producing a chance for an isolated tornado, some large hail, or some damaging winds. Now kind of just push through that area. If you're in Oklahoma City, you guys might get your storm around, let's see here, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. So definitely be aware if you're out there in Oklahoma City, you guys could be getting a pretty decent storm today. And those storms will kind of just move through. And this is what it could look like at 10 p.m. Eastern. So definitely be prepared out here. As we're going to have a system come through, and then it's going to have some severe weather with it. And that's kind of just going to push through over there in parts of the plains. Then here's what some of those storms could look like over here towards the Gulf. Might have a few storms out here around southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, parts of eastern Louisiana. Those storms will push through some of those areas and kind of continue. Some of these storms are already ongoing by the time I'm making this, but some of the storms will kind of continue to push through, potentially having maybe a chance for an isolated tornado, damaging winds and hail. So that's kind of just what those storms are looking like down there. And we do even have potential for some severe weather in the Florida Panhandle areas today as well. We could see some storms develop around 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern and kind of just continue pushing through those areas. And we do got a decent amount of storm fuel for some storms out there to potentially have a chance to produce some tornadoes and stuff. But like this is CAPE, stands for Convective Available Potential Energy. Decent amount of this out there. So we do have enough storm fuel. Now, the severe weather doesn't stop there. As we go into tomorrow on Saturday, May 9th, we will have another severe weather potential. And marginal risk is already in effect for much of the Gulf regions of the United States, as you can see here. This is for tomorrow on Saturday. And then we also got a risk for severe weather up here, with a slight risk over here in parts of southwestern Oklahoma. And this is for Saturday, where we have a potential for some damaging winds, hail, and maybe even an isolated tornado. The area that we're watching for tornadoes mainly for tomorrow is going to be up there in southwestern Oklahoma, kind of in those areas. So definitely be aware for that. We cannot rule out some damaging winds up here or down towards the Gulf regions either. And we cannot rule out some pretty large hail. So definitely be aware for that, especially with this 15% hail risk. Switching over to the future radar again, you can see that we're going to have some of those storms today. Then pushing it up until tomorrow, you can see we're going to have some storms start to develop out there. As you can see right here, we're going to have some storms start to develop out there, and potentially having a chance to produce some tornadoes, damaging winds, and maybe some hail and some pretty large hail. So those are kind of the storms what they could look like tomorrow as they develop. It'll probably be more towards the evening into the night. This is what some of the storms could look like in the south and kind of in the Gulf regions tomorrow, as you can see right here. We have some storms kind of push through some of those areas as well. So definitely, if you're in the Gulf regions tomorrow on Saturday, or if you have any plans out there, we're gonna have some storms kind of push through in the morning and then into the afternoon. So make sure you stay weather aware. And I cannot even rule out some water spouts. See here, we're gonna have some pretty decent levels of CAPE out there tomorrow, which is that storm fuel, which will kind of help those storms. Kind of like have those chances for some tornadoes, hail, and damaging winds. Now going into Sunday, we will have another severe weather potential. One is over here from parts of central Texas into Arkansas, and then another one is over here in the Gulf region. So this is for Sunday. The green is a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk, and then the yellow, which is right here, is a level 2 out of 5 a slight risk. So this is for Sunday. We got to be watching for potential severe weather on Sunday. Then here's what some of the storms could look like potentially on Sunday, as we have some of those storms form out there. And we cannot even rule out maybe an isolated tornado or two on Sunday, and this is a Rufus model. So yeah, definitely be aware for Sunday as well. Checking out the excessive rainfall outlook, you can see that we are going to have some potential for some excessive rainfall today. One is down here in parts of southern Texas. Then one is down here in parts of southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, parts of Louisiana, and parts of southeastern Texas. We do have a potential for potential excessive rainfall out here, as you can see here. We're going to be seeing quite a lot of rain out there. If you can see, the top here kind of shows the inches and stuff of rain. So yeah, definitely a decent amount of rain that's going to be a potential out here today. If we check out the fire weather risk, you can see that we do have an elevated fire weather risk out here for parts of western North Dakota, western South Dakota, and eastern Montana today. So be aware for maybe some fire weather out here today. Checking out the temperature anomaly, you can see here we have some cooler temperatures towards the eastern half of the United States, as you can see right there. But if we push this up some more as we get into parts of mid-May, we might have some warmer air try to come through mid to late May, as you can see right here. So it looks like warmer air might be trying to come through on the way. So it looks like the eastern half of the United States will be seeing some pretty decently cold temperatures though for a while. If you check out the Climate Prediction Center, this is what they're showing. Warmer temperatures potentially towards the plains in the west, and maybe some more below normal temperatures towards the east. Pushing the GFS feature radar up some more, you can see that we are going to have some potential for some more severe weather throughout parts of mid-May. As we get into parts of mid-May, looks like we will have some severe weather potentials out there. This is what we could be seeing around May 12th. Might have a severe weather potential out there in these areas towards the northeast and the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes region. And then pushing this up some more, it looks like we do have some potential for some severe weather out here from parts of the plains in the Midwest into the Great Lakes region throughout late May, so that's something to be watching. Anyways, that's pretty much all I got for you in today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Bye.